Pay close attention, for God is speaking to you, and I am leading you into a decisive moment that cannot be ignored. Before distractions pull you away, before stray thoughts carry you elsewhere, I speak with divine clarity. The miracle already on its way has been released in the unseen realm. Today's message from God comes not as a possibility, but as a certainty awaiting your attention. This is a turning point, a call of urgency, a whisper wrapped in fire, a revelation that will not return empty. Do not ignore this word. You stand at the threshold of something that will break cycles, open paths, and reshape your destiny. I urge you to remain until the end, for what I am about to reveal carries the weight your spirit has long awaited. There is a reason you pressed play. There is a reason your heart responded the way it did. This is not coincidence. This is not a random video. This is a prophetic message, a powerful word arriving at the exact hour when the unseen becomes visible. If you feel something stirring, it is my presence drawing you toward what I have prepared. These are God's promises unfolding in real time. Do not rush. Do not let the noise around you steal what I am depositing into your spirit. In the next few minutes, allow my voice to surround you and lift the burden you carry. You have stepped into a spiritual battle without realizing it, a battle for your attention, your peace, and your future. That is why I ask for your full focus. This is a pivotal moment in your life. If you leave halfway, you will miss the code, the instruction, the alignment I have set specifically for you in this message. You cried out for clarity. You searched for direction. You longed for something that finally felt true. And here I am, speaking directly to your soul. God is moving. The change you prayed for is already happening. Cycles are breaking. Emotional healing is rising. Spiritual restoration is flowing. Unexpected shifts and renewed faith have already begun. What you asked for in silence is active in the unseen realm. Understand this. Miracles are released in the invisible, but they are received by attentive hearts. Do not let your mind wander. Do not let distractions steal the divine purpose I am unveiling. Stay until the end, for your spirit will recognize every word as truth, guidance, and transformation. What I reveal next will answer why God has not forgotten you, why this is your time for miracles, why this is the hour of victory, why my hand is closer than your fear, and why I brought you here now to hear my voice. Your harvest is nearer than you think. I speak to you from a realm your eyes cannot see, but your spirit can feel. God is drawing you into the moment when your inner storms, buried questions, and quiet exhaustion finally encounter His light. You endured a season when survival overshadowed faith, when confusion drowned out God's voice, and when the noise of the world tried to silence the truth I planted within you. This message comes now because you are standing at the edge of a shift you cannot afford to miss. Do not ignore this word. It was sent with intention, precision, and urgency. You wrestled with thoughts no one else saw. Nights when your mind found no rest. Days when you pretended to be strong while something inside was breaking. There are wounds you never named, not because they were small, but because they were so deep you feared they might define you. You cried in silence, hoping I would notice, and I did. You clung to faith while feeling like you were drowning, and I saw you. You asked yourself, is this all? Has the promise I once believed expired? Will the miracle I prayed for ever come, or did it slip away between my disappointments and my weariness? That is why I speak urgently today. The miracle on its way has not vanished. It has not been delayed. It has not failed. It has been released in the unseen realm, released before you saw any change, released even while you doubted. The danger around you is not about your ability to receive the blessing. It is about your attention. You live in a time when distractions, anxieties, and constant uncertainty try to disconnect you from the divine purpose I have set for your life. Spiritual chains tug at your emotions, trying to convince you that what hurts will always hurt, that what failed will fail again. This is a battle for your mind, for the clarity of your spirit, and for the focus needed to step into what I have already prepared. The tension before the shift, the pressure before the breakthrough, the fear before release, these are not signs of defeat. They are indicators of transition. But transition feels dangerous when you feel weak. That is when the enemy whispers that your time is ending, that your prayers were ignored, that your future is uncertain. He pushes you toward haste, comparison, doubt, and distraction. That is how miracles are lost. Not because I withhold them, but because hearts stop paying attention. That is why I call you into silence, focus, and awareness. This is a turning point, and every word I speak carries purpose. You have walked through valleys that scarred your spirit. You carried responsibilities heavier than your shoulders were built to bear. You fought invisible battles no one applauded. You wrestled with cycles that seemed impossible to break. But today I expose each of these pain points so you may understand the depth of transformation I am bringing. The breaking cycle, the emotional healing, the spiritual restoration already flowing. These are my answers to the season you thought would destroy you. What tried to break you will become the platform where my glory lifts you. You lived with unspoken fears. Fear of failing again, fear of never finding stability, fear of losing what you worked so hard to protect, fear that I was distant. But I speak now with divine assurance. I have not forgotten you. I have never left you. Not in loneliness, not in waiting, not in the nights when your heart cried silently for help. I saw every tear you swallowed. I counted every moment of confusion. And I arranged this message to find you at the very edge of giving up. But hear me, when the miracle is near, closer than your fears, closer than your doubts, the enemy tries to deafen you. He tries to make you indifferent, distracted, emotionally detached from my presence. That is why your spirit feels stirred right now. That is why something inside awakens as you listen. You are not just hearing words. You are being drawn back into alignment with my purpose, back to faith, back to clarity, back to the preparation needed for the unexpected shift I am releasing. There is a battle for your attention, because your attention is the door through which promise enters. There is a battle for your heart, because your heart is the soil where blessing lands. There is a battle for your thoughts, because your thoughts shape your acceptance. I say this now so you recognize the danger. If you disconnect, if you drift, if you let your mind wander, you will miss the confirmation, the instruction, the revelation I am about to deliver. You are standing at the edge of your miracle. And even though it has already been released, you must remain attentive to recognize it. That is why I call you deeper into this word. You are not being warned. You are being prepared. You are not being frightened. You are being awakened. As you listen, my presence surrounds you to dismantle confusion, expose lies, and break oppression from your spirit. This is an urgent call, a powerful message, a prophetic vision sent to lift you, guide you, and strengthen the faith that has been under attack. Stay with me. The danger is real, but my deliverance is greater. And what comes next will reveal why this moment is sacred, why this message matters, and why my plan for you is the fulfillment of promises. The miracle already on its way, the victory approaching, the healing, deliverance, and restoration have already begun in the unseen realm. Keep listening. Do not lose focus. This is your turning point. Hear the strategy and divine alignment now, because what I am about to reveal is not merely comfort. It is direction, strategy, and alignment. This is God speaking to you, pulling back the veil that separates what you feel from what I have already released in your favor. I have already exposed the dangers around you, distractions, emotional exhaustion, spiritual confusion. Now I show you the way forward, the gradual unfolding of God's word designed specifically for this moment in your life. The miracle on its way is not a distant concept. It is an active reality in the unseen realm. But you must understand how to receive what has already been set in motion. Do not ignore this message. for it carries instruction that bridges the invisible and the visible. What if I told you that every delay was timing, that every silence was protection, that every closed door was redirecting you to a greater opening? You saw loss, but I saw release. You felt abandoned, but I was positioning you. You interpreted loneliness as punishment, but I was removing voices that interfered with my plan. The very things you questioned are the same things I used to bring you into alignment. This is a mystery only your spirit can grasp, a privileged knowledge reserved for the moment when you would finally be able to hear it. Nothing in your journey has been wasted. Not a single tear, not a single moment of confusion, not a single anxious night. All of it has laid the foundation for the miracle already released. But here lies the dilemma, the moral and spiritual tension you now face. Will you continue to live by what you see, or will you step into what I have already decreed? Will you let fear interpret your present, or will you let faith interpret your future? The unseen realm is already moving, though your natural eyes see no evidence. This is the test. This is the crossroads. This is the moment when your attention determines manifestation. The voice of God calls you to focus, not to overwhelm you, but because the blessing requires your awareness. Imagine for a moment what is happening above you. Doors aligning in your favor, hearts shifting, circumstances rearranging, chains breaking without your knowledge, opportunities forming like seeds sprouting in hidden soil. You cannot see the roots growing, but they grow. You cannot see the seed splitting, but it splits. You cannot hear the earth moving, but it moves. In the same way, the miracle already on its way has begun its process beneath the surface of your reality. Your transformation is happening in silence long before it appears in sight. That is why your awareness matters, not to create the miracle, but to recognize it when it arrives. You ask yourself, what if I fail again? What if nothing changes? What if I am imagining this? And I ask you, what if this is the very moment you have been waiting for? What if this is the breakthrough? What if this is the hour when the breaking cycle becomes visible? The battle was never against your strength. It was against your perception. The enemy wanted you weary so you would not notice my hand, distracted so you would not see my guidance, afraid so you would not welcome my presence. But now, as you hear my voice, the fog lifts. Confusion melts. You awaken to the reality I have been orchestrating all along. Here begins the progression. You must declare your focus. You must quiet the outer world long enough to hear the inner whisper of my spirit. This is your instruction, your strategy, your path to blessing. In the hours and days ahead, every moment you choose me over distraction becomes an act of faith. Every time you remind yourself of my promise, you water the seed. Every time you silence doubt, you move closer to manifestation. You are not passive in this miracle. You are a participant, not by effort, but by attention, not by performance, but by presence. Your heart is shifting even now. You feel the weight of truth pressing gently where fear once lived. That is my presence. That is spiritual restoration beginning its work. I am reshaping your identity, reminding you that you are not late, not forgotten, not overlooked. You are chosen, aligned, and stepping into a decisive moment. Yes, this is your time for miracles, but miracles are only recognized by those who remain spiritually awake. That is why I call you to stay alert, to remain connected, to stay under my voice until the final word of this message. Let me ask you something deeper. If you truly believed the blessing was already released, how would you position yourself? How would you expect? How would you speak? How would you walk through your day? Change begins when you start living as though my promise is already alive, because it is alive. When you choose faith over fear, you align with the unseen. When you choose silence over anxiety, you open the door to clarity. When you choose trust, you step into the rhythm of my timing. The renewal of faith happening within you now is not emotional. It is spiritual. It is proof that God's presence is touching places inside you that once felt numb. Here is another mystery hidden in your journey. The chaos that tried to crush you was actually a sign that your blessing was near. The pressure, the exhaustion, the discouragement, these were not signs of defeat, but contractions before birth. You thought everything was falling apart, but everything was coming together. I allowed certain structures to collapse because they were not strong enough to hold the transformation ahead. I removed certain people because they would have hindered your blessing. I interrupted certain plans because they were too small for your destiny. This is harvest time, and harvest always begins unseen beneath the soil. I am guiding you now, showing you how to receive what has already been sent. And it is simple. Stay attentive. Stay present. Stay connected. Your focus is your gate. Your attention is your agreement. Your faith is your alignment. You are moving from confusion to clarity, from oppression to hope, from stagnation to movement. This is your turning point. The unexpected shift you have longed for is already on its way. Healing, deliverance, restoration, and victory are coming. All of it is activated, all of it is approaching, all of it perfectly timed. Stay here. Keep listening. Remain attentive. What I reveal next will not merely prepare you for the miracle, it will usher you into it. This is activation. This is the sealing of promise. Listen closely, for now I speak not of warning, but of release. This is God speaking to you. The same voice that exposed your battles and opened your path now opens the gates of blessing already active in the unseen realm. What I proclaim is not prediction, not possibility, not distant hope. It is manifestation of what is already yours. You are stepping into the flow of today's message from God, into the unfolding of my divine intention, into the fulfillment of the words spoken over your existence long before your first breath. Do not ignore this message, for these next moments carry the confirmation your spirit has prayed for. I speak now with heavenly assurance. The miracle on its way has already begun descending into your reality. I have released it. I have commanded it. I have protected it from every force that tried to stop it. And as you listen, as you remain attentive, as you open your heart, you begin to receive the first waves of this blessing. You may not see it yet, but your spirit knows. Warmth is forming in your chest, clarity is rising in your mind, and a shift is settling into your atmosphere. This is the presence of God touching your inner world, filling what was empty, healing what was broken, and lifting what was heavy. It is the beginning of your spiritual restoration. I bring light into the places that have lived too long in shadow. I remove the burden that made you feel smaller than the purpose I placed within you. You asked me for healing, and I give you emotional restoration so deep that future storms will not shake you as they once did. You asked me for direction, and I pour clarity into your spirit that silences every voice of confusion. You asked me for breakthrough, and I destroy the cycle that held you in place for far too long. This is not theory, it is reality. The transformation you desire does not wait for tomorrow. It begins now. I release peace into your spirit like a gentle wave wrapping your thoughts in calm. I release strength into your bones, courage into your decisions, and hope into your breath. Where you once felt defeated, I plant victory. Where you once felt forgotten, I reveal my attention. Where you once felt lost, I give you vision. This is not just promise, it is impartation. A spiritual exchange between my kingdom and yours. As you remain attentive, the invisible becomes visible, the intangible becomes tangible, and the impossible becomes your testimony. I restore what life tried to steal. I rebuild what pain tried to collapse. I ignite the gifts buried under fear and exhaustion. Your divine purpose does not simply return, it rises. You are entering a level of alignment you have never known before. You are stepping into a season where things accelerate not because you strive harder, but because my hand removes obstacles, opens doors, and directs your steps with precision. This is your time of miracles, and miracles always begin in the realm unseen by human eyes. Something sacred is happening around you right now. You can feel it. The atmosphere is shifting. Your heart is receiving. Your spirit is expanding. I am pouring restoration like oil over every dry place within you. Your past will no longer dictate your identity. Your failures will no longer whisper your future. I am rewriting the lines of your story, giving you a new chapter marked by renewal, promise, and clarity. You are repositioned for the blessing I have already set in motion. I promise you this, the unexpected shift you prayed for is already unfolding. You will see relationships healed in ways you never thought possible. You will see opportunities arise from directions you never imagined. You will see burdens suddenly lifted without explanation. You will see the threads of your life weaving together until they finally make sense. I am arranging details you cannot see, aligning people you have not yet met, preparing answers you have not yet prayed for. This is harvest time. And harvest is not the reward of your strength. It is the fulfillment of my promise. You worry that your faith is too small. You fear that your actions will fail. But I tell you, you do not carry this alone. My presence strengthens you. My voice guides you. My hand holds you. The renewal of faith rising within you is not your effort. It is my gift. It is proof that you hear me clearly. It is evidence that you are aligned. You are not missing your blessing. You are not late. You are right on time, the very moment when my miracle meets your readiness. So receive what I give. Let peace settle. Let clarity form. Let hope awaken. The promise unfolding in your life is not fragile, not uncertain, not at risk. It is guaranteed by my word, secured by my power, and protected by my presence. Stay here. Stay connected. Stay attentive. What I plan for you cannot be canceled by fear, stopped by distraction, or delayed by doubt. Your transformation has begun. Your restoration is active. Your deliverance is unfolding. Your victory is coming swiftly and steadily. As you listen to the next words I speak, I seal this blessing over your life in a way no force can undo. This prayer is a seal, a continuation of awakening. Be still, for this is the moment when my voice becomes breath upon your spirit. This is God speaking to you, gathering everything revealed before. The dilemma you faced, the crossroads of attention and faith, the invitation to return, the alignment of your heart with the unseen, and sealing it now through prayer. You are not repeating words. You are stepping through a spiritual door. This prayer reconnects you to truth. The miracle already released is received through your focus. Do not ignore this message, for this moment completes what your heart has already begun to feel. My child, I draw you close now. I surround you with my presence so every part of you can hear me clearly. I pull your spirit out of fear, fragmentation, and distraction, returning you to the alignment I called you into earlier. You return to me with awareness, with desire, with readiness to remain attentive to my voice. As you return, I reset your heart. I restart your inner flow so my promise can be received without interference. I speak over you. Let every scattered thought return to focus. Let every burden be lifted. Let every doubt lose its grip. Let the noise of the world fall silent so you may hear the voice of God clearly. You step again into the posture of receiving, the posture you learned before, where you choose faith over fear, presence over distraction, and clarity over confusion. In this moment, I restore your vision, your inner balance, your peace. My presence surrounds you like a shield, and nothing can break through it. I touch the places where your heart trembled. I touch the places where you felt unworthy or unseen. And I declare healing over you, emotional healing, spiritual grounding, renewed trust. I rebuild your inner structure so you can carry the blessing descending into your reality. Let every old pattern dissolve now. This is the breaking cycle. This is renewal. This is the reset of your spirit so the divine purpose imprinted in you from the beginning may rise with strength. Father, I pray for this child of mine. I release calm into their mind and fire into their faith. I ignite their awareness so they remain attentive and do not miss the blessing already active. I pour clarity into their decisions. I expand their capacity to receive. I protect their focus from every force that tries to steal it. I breathe courage into their next steps. I align their spirit with the unseen miracle I have already commanded. Let this moment be the seal, the spiritual signature of transformation. Let my presence rest upon them with weight and warmth. Let them feel me. Let them know I am here. Let them sense that the presence of God fills the room, the air, the very space within their thoughts. And let every word spoken over them today remain alive, undiluted, unshakable. Child, lift your heart as I speak this final confirmation. You are not walking toward your miracle. Your miracle is moving toward you. You are not striving to earn it. You are positioning yourself to receive it. You are not waiting for change. You are witnessing the fulfillment of promise. This prayer is not the end of your breakthrough. It is the activation of what has already been released in the unseen realm. Stay here a little longer. Breathe, feel, receive. Your transformation has begun. Your time of miracles has arrived. And as you prepare for the final words of this message, know this: nothing can separate you from what I have commanded. Now inhale deeply, for this final moment is as sacred as the very first word you heard. This is God speaking to you, bringing closure to this encounter, but not to the work I have begun within you. What you felt rising in your spirit, what warmed your chest, what calmed your thoughts, these were not mere emotions. This was alignment. It was the presence of God affirming that the miracle already on its way has been sealed in the unseen realm. Do not ignore this message, for everything you received here continues long after this video ends. You leave this moment different from how you entered. Your focus has sharpened, your spirit has awakened, and your faith has been renewed. You no longer carry the same fears, oppression, or doubts. Something has shifted. Something has returned. Something has aligned within you exactly as I intended in the earlier parts of this message. The awareness you regained, the attention you rebuilt, and the clarity you embraced have positioned you to walk in the divine purpose I spoke over your life. But listen carefully. Before you go, remain connected. Stay spiritually awake. What I release today will unfold in layers, and your next steps matter. Guard your focus. Protect your heart. Pay attention to the gentle nudges, the quiet thoughts, the inner pull. These are signs that the word spoken here is still at work. Remind yourself daily that the blessing is already active. Remember in every moment that your miracle is drawing closer, not farther away. This is your time of miracles, your moment of spiritual restoration, your hour of transformation. Now I invite you to a final act of faith. If you feel my presence, if you acknowledge that this message was truly powerful and prophetic, if you know in your spirit that it was meant for you, then proclaim your alignment. Let your voice reflect what your heart has already received. Share this message with someone who needs the same awakening. Leave a word of agreement so that heaven sees your position. Let your action seal what your spirit has embraced. You are not leaving the same. You leave awakened, directed, strengthened, and aligned. The promise is unfolding. Victory is coming. Restoration is active. An unexpected shift is on its way. Walk with confidence, for I walk with you. Return whenever your faith needs reminding, whenever your heart needs strengthening, whenever your spirit needs to hear my voice again. Go now in peace, with focus, with faith, and with full attention. for I am not finished with you. Dear brothers and sisters, with joy and confidence I speak to you today. Our channel is more than videos and words. It is a space where the light of divine truth shines brightly, touching lives and hearts with the Word of God. To continue sharing this message of love, hope, and faith, we rely on the generous support of each of you. If you have been touched by the messages we share or the reflections we offer, I invite you to become a member of the channel or make a donation of any amount. If the Lord stirs your heart to help us, whether by joining or giving, you become a partner in this sacred mission. Whatever the amount, it makes a meaningful difference, enabling us to keep delivering divine messages. Click the Become a Member or Thanks button beneath the video and join us in this journey of purpose and impact. If you cannot give financially, do not worry. You can help by sharing this video so that more people may hear the Word of God. Every act of support is like a seed planted in fertile soil, growing into fruits of love and understanding. Together, let us build a place where God's love shines, where faith is strengthened, and where hope is renewed. I thank all who are already part of this family and all who are considering joining us. May divine grace guide and strengthen us in our mission. Until next time.